are undefeated so far in the Winfield Cup. The signs are good for them so far in 91, but this is vital to win at home. Quite a breeze blowing here at Kogarah today. It'll play its part. And the sign says to send the Magpies. This is the team to do it. South, Walford, Beattie the skipper, Coyne, Wade, Potter, New, Gill, Goulet, Fullerton, Smith, Spring, Collins and Osborne. And the coach is Brian Smith. It's really desperation stakes for Western Suburbs. Just the one win so far. And they know at the back of their minds next Friday night they will line up against Canberra. A number of big off-season signings to West, including Andrew Farah, David Gillespie, Ron Gibbs now in the black and white colours. They've got to get on deck today. Devine, Burns, Farah, Casato, Ainscough, Dimmock, Taylor. The forwards, Liddon are the captain. Liddon, Gibbs, Gillespie, Thomas and Britt. The coach, Warren Ryan. Ronnie Gibbs just trying to fire up the front row. Teammate Darren Britt. Greg McCallum, the man to be in charge of this one. Jason Taylor to kick off for West. He's back in the top lineup. And Taylor kicking down for New, who was going to return it straight away. And he'll find touch too. He'll find it about 33 metres out from the Western Suburbs line. I mentioned that breeze is going to play its part today. It's a strong one, Wayne, behind St. George.
Very strong running from right to left as we look at the screen, and there are definitely a lot of points in this breeze. St. George will, I'm sure, in this first half use a big kicking game.
So Western Suburbs with the feed. What's your feelings on this one, Bill?
Well, I don't think Western Suburbs can allow it to be a high-scoring game. They've shown already they've got definitely scoring points in the first 3 rounds of the competition. They need a low-scoring game. That's their only chance.
Farah with this kick to the sideline. You favour St. George at home, Wayne?
Sorry, Graeme?
You favour St. George at home?
Yes, I think they've got too much stability in the side. Western Suburbs have been fragmented right throughout the season with injuries, but St. George have maintained a fairly constant lineup, and they'll have a lot more teamwork than the Western Suburbs team.
Ainscough will play at 32 metres out from the St. George line. Taylor to get his forwards going. Gillespie. Right in centre field. Taylor switches play. Now Dimmock is tackled. Trying to get this inside St. George's 22. Lindner with a strong surge down the blind.
And this is the area that Warren Ryan's worked on all week. Their attack. He's put countless hours into trying to pick it up, get it more structured, and to force less mistakes.
On the last tackle, McCallum allowed play to continue. Cut out ball here, Farah. One more pass, try. Casato. Oh, they spread it. They spread it all right, and they caught St. George out. St. George had been sucked into the middle of the ruck, and some quick passes and some long balls on the MMI replay. Taylor gets it out, sees that St. George haven't come in to cut it off. Farah had plenty of players left over. He took the tackle, got it away to Casato, and Western Suburbs have stunned St. George in the opening minutes.
Well, if Warren Ryan put a lot of time into their attack during the week, it paid off for him here. Firstly, it was Jason Taylor. Lovely long ball out to Andrew Farah. Farah's strong enough to stand in a tackle. Got it onto Casato, and he dived across for first blood.
With his first touch, he gets a try, Casato. The 23-year-old sales clerk. Of course, he was formerly with Parramatta. Taylor. From out wide. And a difficult breeze to contend with. Forget about the breeze, he gets the goal. Fine kick, and Western Suburbs 6, Leeds St. George 0. Walford with the restart for St. George. St. George are the ones that got this good breeze at their back. So that is absolutely vital now, that's 6 points.
Couldn't have hoped for a better start. Their attack's been found wanting in the first few weeks of the premiership. Their confidence has been down. That's going to lift them, and the bonus of the fact they're playing into the wind.
Gillespie just outside his 22. Britt. St. George defensive line hadn't moved up on the blind side. They stood back and waited.
And so I suppose you ask the question, how much are they going to miss Brad Mackay? He is the man that tidies up for them.
West down there quickly. Darren South couldn't improve with the run at all. Now David New. He loses it. They're wasting this advantage of the breeze. St. George putting themselves under pressure. Taken solidly in the tackle. Well, he caught one high, didn't he? That told the story.
That'd be enough to take anyone's mind off the job.
And that man, Brad Mackay, looking on sideline. He wants it in again, McCallum. Taylor with a couple of options here. He goes to Dimmock. Farah. Farah rids himself of one, and that was Michael Potter. That knee heavily strapped. Knee reconstruction for Farah to get him back on deck in 91. Britt throws himself into the line. Thomas looks for Gibbs to take over. Gibbs will play at about 12 metres out.
St. George aren't moving up. Their line is just waiting.
They're going to get in trouble again here. Another cutout ball from Taylor. Ainscough out near the sideline on the last tackle for West. And Taylor hangs up a bomb in front of the post. Taken well by Mark Coyne. He had some pressure on him, just stood his ground, and some West players had gone up too early for it. Now West too keen and enthusiastic in defence, caught inside the 5.
I've got to say I'm very impressed by the start young Jason Taylor's made for Western Suburbs. Now, he was dropped last week after a pretty ordinary game the week before. He's a class footballer. He's got good footwork, good hands and a good kicking game. At times his defence has come under question, but if he can get that out of his game, he could go all the way.
Goulet.
Will they kick it again?
Well, they've got it there. It's got to be used.
Yeah, but not too early. You know, you can make the mistake sometimes of having the wind at the back and kicking the ball willy-nilly, and all you're doing is giving the opposition possession.
That's something St. George haven't had much of so far in this early start. Gill. Looking back inside for New. The ball went back. New will play it. They're still short of their own halfway. Collins trying to wait it just inside the sideline. He gets a perfect roll. He weighted it nicely.
Much better play by St. George. They used up their tackle count. They forced Western Suburbs to work in defence and then put a good kick on the end of it.
Collins will try and come up with one against the feed. A difficult proposition, just about the most difficult in the game.
They've got a big enough pack to at least exert some pressure, but not with a feed like that.
Lidner standing at 5'8". Thomas. Quick play of the ball, and St. George hadn't recovered from the scrum. Britt. They're doing everything quickly and very sharp indeed, West. Taylor.
And of course, that's the legacy you pay when you have got a big pack of forwards like St. George had. If the opposition can do things quickly against you, you can't get set.
Farah's well and truly set, and a kick into the breeze that just holds up there for Darren South. Looking for Walford. Walford had gone infield. Well, that's a voluntary tackle. He should have been penalised. You can't just dive on the deck and then play the ball. He got away with it. Coyne. Linking up with Cameron Wade. Fullerton Smith. So some mistakes from St. George. They're not getting down to the full set of 6 tackles. Casado. Western Suburbs will line up against the Raiders. They have to win this one. In this and Friday night game next week. Earlier on today, it was a real hammering for the Saints. 34-2 in the President's Cup and 30-0 in reserve grade. That tells a sorry tale for interchange, Bill.
Yeah, not much to call on there.
So St. George and their coach Brian Smith with some problems.
Showing some nice set plays, Western Suburbs. They look well structured.
West have scored 39 points so far in the Winfield Cup, 40 scored against them. St. George 66, only 32 against them. South. And West have won the last two encounters. Last year at Campbelltown it was 18-12 to the Magpies. St. George going nowhere. Osborne took it up strongly, but there was nobody on his outside. Now Saints get a penalty. And you go back over the past few years, in fact 20 matches played, St. George have won 14 of those. On 5 points, St. George, and undefeated so far. They're coming off that 12-all draw against the Gold Coast last week.
Graeme, have a look at this Western Suburbs defensive line. Now, there's the winger on the top of the screen. He's way inside the 10-yard line. Now, that's a compacted defensive line. St. George won't try to go through that. They'll try and get around it.
Well, Collins tried to go right up the middle. He was nabbed by Farah. Potter. Potter back for Goulet to side a gap. And Farah gets him as well. Potter. New. Chipping behind the line, but he's chipped too far. Devine did well to get across there and tidy things up for West. Casado. Taken low by Fullerton Smith. This is where they've got to force the error from West now. Thomas. Taylor. Taylor's going backwards. Good strong defense from Cameron Wade. Casado doing a lot of hitting the ball up amongst the forwards. Darren Britt taken by Goulet. Last tackle against West. Farah changing direction to get his kick in. Cameron Wade's got it. One of the best positions on the field and chances that St. George have had so far. 6-0 to West. David New. Wide pass for Beattie. Taken by Taylor. And he was trying to look outside for Ricky Walford, who was gone infield again.
That was the chance to get down the edge.
Peter Spring, 32 out from the West line. Osborne. Line deep, they are. St. George to the right. Big back line. Potter with a fumble. That ruined his chance of going wide. Last tackle against the Saints. Again, the chip from New. New's been put on the deck. Nothing to come of it. He's back on his feet. And Casado. He's everywhere at the moment where the ball is. So here's the kick from New. I was going to say controversial. He's been in enough trouble, Ronnie Gibbs, with those penalty situations only a week ago against Manly. But he was committed into that tackle.
Well, Warren Ryan spoke to Greg McCallum before the game about that very tackle that Ron Gibbs has been famous for, and as far as McCallum's concerned, it's okay as long as it's not late.
He didn't produce the tackle on that occasion. Now touched by South. Now they've lost the ball again. On the first tackle. West will have the feed here. Just lost it in the tackle. He's got his head down. He doesn't have to be told how much trouble his team could be in here.
This is the way they started 2 weeks ago here at Kogarah against Brisbane. Paul Langmack pretty excited about it all, and they were able to turn it all around in one section of the game, Graeme, but they haven't got their minds on the job here again today. That's obvious.
Dimmock, 40 metres out from the St. George line. It's got to be a worry to them, Wayne, that they're wasting this breeze.
That's for sure. That's the second time on the first or second tackle that St. George have forfeited the ball.
Well, here goes Gibbs. South missed him. And Gibbs finishes up 6 metres away. St. George on the rack. Taylor, Osborne will get time in the bin. 10 minutes. No one can argue with that. Running back from an offside position. He decided to stop the play by catching it. You won't see him for 10 minutes. And that's why the try could have been on the end of that for Western Suburbs.
The ball had well and truly been played. What took him so long to get there?
Taylor with this kick. So a real slow start, Wayne.
Yeah, very disappointing. I mean, St. George, when they're down in Western Suburbs territory, they're not putting any pressure on the kick, and that's the reason that Western Suburbs are gaining so much ground into this breeze. What they've got to do is, firstly, ensure that the markers put plenty of pressure on the kickers, and secondly, try and get to a kick themselves. As I said before, they've got to the first or second tackle on 2 occasions, and they've dropped the ball. They can't afford to waste this time with the breeze, because Western Suburbs in the second half, knowing Warren Ryan as I do, will make full use of it.
Jason Taylor having some difficulty keeping this ball on the mound in the breeze. Just next to the post. He drives it down the middle. This is a fine start into this breeze for West. 8-0 over St. George. Osborne set to rejoin play. Right in centre field, the scrum. Dimmock. Farah. Taken by Beattie. Finished off by Fullerton Smith. 60 tackles they've had at West to only 38 from St. George. Lindner. Darren Brett. He's got Gillespie on his outside. Can't use him.
They're doing it too easily. They're going through them in the centre of the rucks, and when they switch the play and move it out wide, they're catching them not going up.
Taylor. That time they did go up. Cameron Blair out there off the interchange bench. He was originally listed in the starting lineup. Taylor stepping. Now support from Britt. 6 tackle handover. This breeze is going to mean nothing to St. George in this first half. Penalty. Cameron Blair. He was all over Peter Gill as he was trying to get up and play it. It's just about being St. George's best play to get a penalty to get out of here. They haven't been able to get out of the danger zone by themselves. Out near halfway, the tap restart for Goulet.
Now what they've got to do here is get Wests going backwards, and the only way they're going to do it is by getting some urgency into their play and doing things quickly. That is far too slow, Scott Goulet. They've got to have quick play the balls, get Wests going back.
Osborne plays it. Gill. They're staying a couple of times on this short blind side. Osborne again. Second time in 3 tackles. Handling errors 5-1 against St. George. Collins under a couple of high tackles. Walford puts the kick up. That'll be too easy for Devine. He was trying to put it up high enough to give himself some time to get there.
One of the few chances that St. George have had to do something, and Ricky Walford took it upon himself.
So Devine diffuses the situation. Back for the 22 tap. Now, West call a team meeting. McCallum orders them to restart play.
Always handy to slow the game down when you're playing into the breeze.
Farah. Well, you'd have to slow things down, Bill, as you get towards that break and have an 8-0 lead going into the breeze. Blair. Penalty against St. George. They've spent little or no time down the Western Suburbs end of the field.
You see, what Wests are doing is they are forcing McCallum's hand. They're making him give penalties because they're looking as if they want to get to their feet quickly. They look as if they want to play the ball. And so he's got no option. He's got to penalise St. George.
Barra, 40 metres out from the Saints line now. Ainscough. 4-3, St. George have got the penalties. Darren Brett. Blair. Quickly played it. Taylor. Ledner. Ledner to Dimmock. Over the top for Farah. They keep it alive well. If they could have got it one more pass, it would have been a try. Taylor. Taylor sights a gap up the middle. Nobody home. He's only inches away. That was a huge gap up the middle. Last tackle, can they survive? Linton trying to get the ball back. He won't. He's wrapped up. They do survive. Walford. The only chances he's had is from dummy half. Now he fumbles it. So the disease is spreading right through this side. Number of chances and opportunities they're offering to Western Suburbs. They've taken some to lead 8-0. Lidden. It's almost impossible to fathom the way they're trying to play this game, St. George. Blair.
The only good thing to come out of this half for them is the fact they're still in it. They're still in touch.
Taylor. Farah. One-hander away for Casato. So it's on the last. Taylor deciding to run it. Now he kicks. Walford's there. Well, he had trouble again with the ball. South out of dummy half. They've been forced to make a lot of tackles, the Saints, and they're very tired.
This will be a real test for them as half-time approaches. This is an important set of 6. Now, what they've got to be able to do here is at least give Western Suburbs the ball back in West's own half. If they don't, Wests are going to come at them again.
That was Tierney and his first touch in the match. Potter floats it out for Coyne. He's wrapped up smartly by Casato. Last tackle. They've gone nowhere so far. Now they've got a kick. Would you believe they kick straight to the West fullback Devine? He beats Beattie beautifully. Steps inside Tierney.
This set of 6 is danger with a capital D.
So an awful kicking game from St. George. On the second tackle, Wests are raiding away inside the 22. Brett picks it up. Digging their own grave. Taylor. Blair. Could nearly have been penalised, Osborne, for holding him down. Thomas. Dimmock. Quickly for Lidden. Lidden's only 2 metres away. Thomas from dummy half trying to go alone. Now he thinks about getting it back, but he's wrapped up by the defence. Last tackle. Are they going to survive again? Taylor kicking back across to a blind side. Ainscoe's there on Walford. He gets it back to Devine. That's a simple try. I can't believe that no other St. George players got across there. Walford had Ainscoe covered, but there was nobody else there to assist. On the MMI replay, the kick took a long time to get across there. Walford left it for Ainscoe, and then simply back on the inside. Nobody home.
You can see when this kick comes across the face of goal, there are plenty of St. George players with their eyes on the ball, but they did nothing about covering it up. They just simply left it to Ricky Walford. He made the tackle. I think he thought that it was going to go in over the sideline. Then it was simply a matter of a pass back for a try.
Yeah, it was good work here from Jason Taylor. The sight that there weren't many St. George defenders on this blind side. The Western Suburbs chasers came through in numbers. Ricky Walford, well, he should have gone up with the ball, didn't go up. Ainscoe did, and he offloads to Devine.
Well, that's the easiest try that 21-year-old Sean Devine will ever score.
Charity.
Taylor to try and keep this impressive record going. That is a wonderful kick. A sensational kick into the breeze from the sideline. Taylor to get it to 14-0. What an amazing kick from Taylor. Right into the teeth of the breeze that's coming off Botany Bay. And one of the doubts was going to have the legs. Accuracy was superb.
Radar.
Now, Devine. He got to celebrate his 21st in the right way with a try.
That was a real birthday present, wasn't it?
Well, now he needs the 2 Winfield Cup points. Tremendous advantage for West. Gillespie. If you've ever seen anybody try and murder a game at the moment, this is it. St. George in round 4 of the Winfield Cup. Casato. Stephen Burns. Last tackle against the Magpies. Farah. Pressure on him with the kick. He had support back there from Taylor. Off the side of his boot to an open field out there for Beattie. He got away from Lindner, and then Lindner turned and chased. Fullerton Smith. They've got to get something on the board before the break. Walford. A rare chance down at the other end for St. George. Osborne. Potter. Throws the dummy. Not taken by Cameron Blair. Real headaches for the St. George coach, Brian Smith. Now, Osborne knocked down by Darren Britt. Trying to put in a little grubber kick behind the defensive line. Was Britt committed?
No, I don't think he was. I think that he changed direction slightly, and he certainly finished Osborne off. He was trying to run into the hole to recover the ball.
St. George going to take the goal kick.
They've got to post points before half-time. This will at least lift their confidence if he can steer this over.
Osborne back on deck. Walford. To try and get them on the scoreboard. His angle from just inside the 22 and about 15 in from the sideline. He pilots it well. They finally get on that board. Western Suburbs leading 14-2. He's smiling at last that they get some points on.
He must feel like jumping.
He hasn't paid. He's well and truly in front anyway. Time nearly up in this first half. St. George coach Brian Smith will really have to work some magic.
Well, I don't think there are any deep and mysterious secrets. They've just, well, so it continues. They've just got to play out 6 tackles, kick and chase well, and make their tackles with their line moving up.
Well, a mistake seemingly from South. Now he gets it started. St. George coming good, but time's almost up in the first half. 5 minutes in the bin for Devine. Now, siren's about to go. St. George to put this out to the sideline. The reason why Devine's got 5 minutes for not letting Collins up. The siren has sounded.
West's expecting the kick. They've got 2 fullbacks.
Darren South to put up the big bomb. Everybody trying to get there. Casato does. Comes astray. Couple of knock-ons either way. That's all there is in this first half. And what a first half for Western Suburbs, running into a big breeze. Tremendous advantage for them. They take the break at 14-2. And West will start confidently at the beginning of this second half, 14-2. The statistics about this first half of football certainly do tell a story, especially earlier on today. President's Cup was 34-2 to West, 30-0 to West in reserves, so no real depth for Brian Smith seemingly to call on in this match. McCallum setting for the kickoff. Away we go, says McCallum. Down for Casato, who was involved in the thick of the action in that first half. West lose it. 85 tackles. The Magpies had it in possession. Osborne away for Spring. So can they get an early try to give them some hope in this second half? Potter very wide. Gill. Goulet goes without it. South into Beattie. Beattie heading for the corner. Gillespie tried to take him high. Gill. Potter. Ledner was up quickly. Good defence from West to cut it off. Last tackle. They stay on the blind. Little kick. Osborne drags it. He needs support. Pops it up. That went forward surely. Or did it touch a West player? But they get a try. A shock start here in the second half. They're fired up. MMI replay. Elliott tried a little chip. Didn't look as if it would amount to much, but Osborne tore onto it and then stood to get this pass away. Well, he passed it a couple of metres short of the line, and it was nearly caught right on the line by Elliott.
St. George hit Western Suburbs with a storm, whose minds looked like they were still in the dressing room. Chip over the top. Osborne, a front rower with a step off the right foot, threw one in the air and prayed, and Tierney answered it.
One of the things Warren Ryan warned his players about at half-time was complacency, and they showed signs of it here. They didn't really attack the St. George defence that they had done earlier on in the game. Osborne popped the ball up. I thought it did go forward, but nevertheless the points are on the board, and St. George back in this game.
That's right, it's in the book for Elliott. 27 years of age. A man that's played for France. More importantly, he's come up with the try here for Walford to try and convert. Fine goal kicking into the breeze here. St. George back in there with a real rush at the start of the second half, 14-8. It was a difficult first half for them because of the mistakes they made. West had the overall possession. Goulet brings it away. They had to work very hard, and that was why that 85 tackles for Western Suburbs. As a result, St. George were forced to defend pretty grimly. They made a lot of tackles, 128 to only 70. Collins with 21 and Fullerton Smith 19. Lidden was the tops for West. He only had to make 12.
And that statistic, Graeme, tells the story of the first half. 128 tackles made with the breeze behind your back. You've made a lot of errors when you do things like that.
Well, that was exactly right about those handling errors, Wayne. So everything bouncing the right way for St. George here in this second half.
And this raises the question about the win. I'm sure teams sometimes are guilty about thinking that when they're with the win, that it's going to score the points for them, and it's not. You've still got to do the hard work.
Some hard work now for West. Ledner got it away to Casato. St. George will be hoping for a lot better with their hands in the second half. 7-1 those handling errors. 4 times they dropped it on the first tackle, twice on the second, once on the third. That's how to lose a football game. Britt. Dimmock's taken short of halfway. A lot more excitement now. This crowd coming to life with this surge from St. George. South. South. He gets right through. He might go all the way. Lindner chasing. He's got Coyne inside. Can he get it to Coyne? Touched by Lindner. Coyne's got it. Fumbles. Knocks on. He probably should have set up Coyne a lot better than that. He could have taken the ball back in field. Now Coyne had a try on the end of it. He really unloaded far too early for Lindner to be there and get a touch to it.
What he had to do was head back in towards Lindner and commit Lindner to make the tackle earlier. Lindner just kept shadowing him down the field, and then he was forced to push a pass.
And Beattie and also Stephen Burns here with a caution. Touch judge in on the play. It's a long chat too, so I wonder if there's a penalty here. Burns has got 10 minutes. There'll be a penalty, obviously impeding Beattie, who was in support of the break. So there's some real trouble for West now. St. George all fired up, and they've got the run of play.
They're doing things a lot more quickly than they were in the first stanza. They're getting to the play the ball, getting to their feet quickly and getting the ball back in motion.
South, who made that great break. Coyne. St. George, who really didn't show any true pattern to their play with the ball in the first half. They never let themselves get settled with so many handling errors. Collins. Up the middle, Gill. They're finding some holes now. Gill turns it back for Potter. Potter looking for a runner. He beats Gillespie. No marker. Potter takes off. Gill. South knocks it back. Goes back to retrieve it. He'll play it 33 metres away from the West line. Elliott. Osborne. Again, he tries a little chip. He regathers, but it's down to the last tackle. Potter. Gill. They're going to try and chance it out wide. Beattie. Beattie knows it's the last. He keeps it alive. Gill flicks it for Walford. Walford to put up a midfield bomb. The breeze will hold this up for a long time. Potter takes it. It was Collins, but then Collins knocks on. Handover, and West have got it. Coyne. Straight across field. And dangerously to Beattie, but they get away with it. Walford. Stepping beautifully. Walford getting away. Farah, last chance. Ricky Walford might have fumbled a couple of balls in the first half. They're going to go 90 metres under the post. Oh, they're all on their feet here at Kogarah. St. George seemingly back from the dead. The Saints have taken a risk, and what a risk on the MMI replay. Floating dangerously, but dragged in by Beattie. Now, Ricky Walford, a real match winner, a player that can turn anything into something. He got away from the defence, great on his feet, and when there's a clear line for Walford, you're not going to catch this man. One of the quickest in the game, and a scorer of a sensational try here in round 4.
St. George threw caution to the wind here. You can see Wade went on the outside of some of the Western Suburbs defence and then got the ball to Beattie, back onto Walford. Now that's where the Western Suburbs defence has been a little bit weak. That short defensive line can be found out wide. Walford had to brush off a couple of tackles, but once he got his nose clear and he started to step on the gas, there was no way that anyone in this Western Suburbs team was going to get a hand on him.
Right under the black dot, so he can have this kick from right in front. Bobby Lidner explaining to his team just how they've gone to sleep on a tremendous lead of 14-2. 2 tries in 8 minutes. Both of them converted. And the scoreline now locked together at 14.
You can say what you like in a game of rugby league, and then all of a sudden it'll turn around and laugh at you.
Well, it's doing just that. St. George were looking way out of it in the first half, and now it's been all red and white so far in the second.
And whatever Brian Smith said to them at half-time, he needs to bottle.
Tierney. And when he breaks open the bottle, do it at the start of the match. Beattie. Now, kicking into the breeze and kicking better than they did in the first half. Rolling towards the sideline. Look at this St. George defensive line. Talk about back from the dead, as I said. Full of enthusiasm and running now.
That's commitment, and that's why coaches pull their hair out, that sometimes players just won't do it.
Their home supporters are rising to them. West are needing a big play now. Britt Non-stop worker in the St. George pack. Good support from Liddon, but the ball was forward. So this is what St. George were doing wrong in the first half. Mistakes in their own territory on early tackles.
Well, we know that Western Suburbs have got a good kicking game through Jason Taylor, but they're with the wind here and not using it.
Potter. Straight across field. Beattie. It's on again here for Welford. Well, Beattie decided to go back infield as the cover got there in time. Missing a lot of tackles, Wes. Elliott. Ledner just flew at him. Tierney. Good short ball to Gill. Gill's got support. Goulet through a dummy. Coyne. Here's a great opportunity. Coyne's got Landers. He won't need him. West have fallen apart. And it's another try right under the post. Oh, this game being played in two complete separate halves. It was all West. Now it is just an absolute red and white flood. MMI replay. Look at the skill from Tierney and skill also from Gill, the dummy from Goulet. Good play from the forwards. Then Coyne knew that he had Devine on the wrong foot. Devine was worried about Landers on the outside. Coyne was going to get it, but nobody could get back there to stop him from scoring right under the post. Another great St. George try.
And once again, the Dragons able to run Western Suburbs ragged out wide. Now, the good early work, the lead-up work done there by Tierney, put Gill into a hole. He kept the ball alive to Goulet, who was wrapping around. Got the ball back on there to Coyne. Now, Coyne was summing up this situation well. He read exactly what was going through Devine's mind. Threw the dummy. He fell for it, went round and improved his position.
Coyne, just where Walford was a moment ago. 23 years of age. The Queensland State of Origin rep. He's online with that famous maroon jumper again this year. Walford adds 2 more points. And unbelievably, after being down 14-2 at half-time, it's St. George who have raced to the front 20-14. Devine tackled right on his own 22. Well, they were down 14-2 at half-time without 2 of their stars today, Jason Alshan, and the Kangaroo Brad Mackay. Now, there's a caution coming here for Spring, and the penalty will go to Western Suburbs. Let's take you down sideline now. Brad Mackay has joined Wayne Pearce.
Well, Brad, the Saints weren't going too good in the first half, but they've suddenly turned things around.
Yeah, we're playing very well in the second half. I was ripping out my hair in the first half, but I've got a smile on my face now.
Some strong words at half-time from Coach Brian Smith.
Yeah, Brian was pretty angry at half-time. We weren't doing the basic things right. We were dropping the ball, and that, I think Western Suburbs are doing what we did in the first half right now.
A bit of complacency, but yourself, your broken wrist, when do you think you'll be back?
I'll be back in 4 weeks' time. I think that's the Sunday before the State of Origin, so I'll be back by then.
And have you spoken to the selectors? Are you still on the short list?
I'm not sure. No, I haven't spoken to anyone. I'm just going to keep fit. The fitness will be no problem because I'll be able to train, so that's my basic goal at the moment.
Best of luck.
Thanks. Thanks,
New South Wales need him, and so do his St. George side, who open up here. But the ball falls their way. Dimmock grabbing at his shoulder as he gets back to his feet. Walford beats Blair. Won't get away from Gillespie. Landers. That overall possession is starting to even up. Potter. Spring. Got a ball back for Goulet. He was hammered, Collins, when he went for it, and Farah gets it. Now they've been showing all the attacks in George. They've got to show that they can defend again. Gillespie. 20-14 they lead the Saints. Liddon. Western Suburbs are about 15 metres away. Taylor. Ledner. They get it out wide to Farah. Farah back for Devine. Devine to Dimmock right in front of the post. They're on the last tackle, Western Suburbs. Taylor trying to get it out wide. Behind the line, South. Knocked forward by St. George. Gill was there to tidy it. South had dived at it. And Coyne had played at it as well.
And the ruling here, the ball knocked forward from the in goal, means we're going to have a restart with a line dropout.
I wasn't quite sure that they were in the in goal at all. Interesting call.
And a very important call with West to get the ball back in a good attacking position.
Well, that was in the field of play. Should have been a scrum, only 5 metres away. Devine's got it 32 metres out. Gibbs back out on the field. Thomas up the middle. He'll look for some support. He gets it back to Gillespie. Wests are coming back strongly. Taylor. Lidner. Quick hands. Lidden straightens. Lidden back for Britt. Right in front of the posts. They're hanging on St. George, but just. A third set of 6 tackles for West. Taylor. Gillespie. Gillespie out wide, floating it. Ainscough for the corner, gets it down. So at last, after getting better control in possession, the Magpies had another try. Out wide on the MMI replay, Gillespie went in and away, kept it alive and floated it. Walford was the only man out there to try and stop it. Ainscough had the head start to the corner.
Western Suburbs always had the numbers. The difficulty was going to be getting the ball there against a fast-moving St. George defence, and it took Gillespie to beat a tackle, throw one over the top, and Ainscough to finish it off.
Yes, the St. George defence desperately short on this left-hand side of the field. A good little ball there from Taylor. Gillespie lobs it out wide here. He knows that they've got a huge overlap, and it was left to Jamie Ainscough there to go over and score the try.
Ainscough, the caretaker, well and truly out there in the corner, 19 years of age, former Australian schoolboy rep. Jason Taylor, 3 from 3, very windy conditions. We haven't seen anybody miss a goal yet. And this kick to get it back, to have it all locked up once more. Taylor, the wrong time to finally miss one. St. George still have their nose in front at 20-18. Darren South. Ball bounces away awkwardly from Gibbs. Picked up by Burns. Good tackle from Elliott, who's played well today. Lidden. Can they control the ball, West? Thomas. This is where they were guilty of making some mistakes at the start of the second half. Gillespie, a lot more running from him in the last 15 minutes. Farah just got the kick in. South has been a danger when given room to move. Finished off nicely by Dimmock.
It's important for St. George now that they don't lapse into overconfidence. They've done some good fancy things with the ball and it's paid off. But now with their nose just in front, they've got to play with a little bit more safety.
Criddle. Potter. Elliott. Standing. And he'll be finished off on halfway. Potter. Formerly from fullback, where he was once the Dally M Player of the Year. Beautiful break towards the sideline, but Burns cuts it off. That's not 10 metres. Burns, with a little bit of a jink, was quick to let the referee know about it. Farah with this kick. Not much of an angle. It's a good kick to get it down over halfway. Burns. 10-5 those handling errors. They were 7-1 against St. George at one stage. 40 metres out from the St. George line. Thomas calling for the penalty. Gets it out to Gillespie. Taylor. Farah. Now Farah looked to be in some pain there. 2018. Now he's grabbed at that knee. It was a full reconstruction job on him last year. And as soon as he stepped, just watch the pain on his face. Regaining some composure.
And what would be going through Warren Ryan's mind just at this moment?
Already the Magpies have lost Paul Langmack for the year.
He's gone.
He's gone, says the trainer, but he's going to play it. Well, there's no need. Somebody else can do it for him. A dejected Andrew Farah walking to the sideline. You can only hope that that knee has not suffered any more damage. Taylor gets it. Litton. Farah's an important man as far as the kicking game is concerned. Taylor. Taylor, little chip to the open spaces, but it bounces kindly for Darren South. 10 metres out from their own line, St. George. Coyne. Farah will have to go the long way round from the other side of the ground. Potter. Potter was trying to get to the kick. The advantage was played, now a penalty. There's some interference on Potter. A number of times St. George have tried to get behind the line. There's never been anybody back there. Well, it was almost like Britt was allowed and fully entitled to turn his back.
Yes, you can't just disappear there. You are entitled to hold your ground.
Now, St. George copped a lot of pressure down at their end. They're going to lose ground here with this kick. They should have been down somewhere near the Western Suburbs 22 and mounting their own. Goulet. Landers. Off his wing, wrapped up by three forwards. Spring overruns it. Not a good pass from Collins to Potter. Elliott. Wrapped up by Gibbs. Trying to break and find some advantage, St. George. South. Puts up the bomb. Devine's there. Climbs. 6 more tackles. This could be the most important 6 of the game. Beattie! 3 metres away, St. George. Potter. The defence is up quickly. He's got nowhere to go. They get pushed back to 9 metres away. Switching it. Spring. Back for Potter. Elliott. Elliott's 4 metres from the line and right in front of the post. Collins. Spring. Spring will get it back, but only to David Gillespie. They spoil it, trying to push that pass that wasn't needed. Litton. 5 minutes remaining in the game. 20-18. St. George over West after West had led 14-2 at the break. Britt. West having to go the length of the field. St. George have already done it once themselves. Gillespie. Inside their own 22. St. George will try and put some pressure on the kick. Devine bouncing up out of 1. Now it's the last. Back for Taylor. He's going to have some trouble. Plenty of trouble, Taylor, to get a kick. Ankle tap. Now he will. But only down to Landers. Straight to him. Landers right on halfway. Bill, they should be able to control it from here, St. George.
Yeah, well, they should be. It's It's one thing to know how to win a game, but it's another thing to know how not to lose one, and they're the circumstances facing St. George. All they should be working for now is good field position and dropping the ball in goal. They don't need to score again.
Desperation for the Magpies, though, Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to try and force an error somewhat here. If worse comes to worse, they've got to look for a charge down on the kick. Plenty of pressure on the kickers on the 4th and 5th tackle.
South slowly to his feet. Elliott. He's been a good interchange for Brian Smith in this game. Last tackle. Osborne trying to keep it out towards the sideline. He just gets it over the chalk. That's good play to push it out wide. Dimmock only 12 metres from his own line. They've got to try everything now. West. Blair. 20-18 to St. George. The one-out running won't be enough. Ainscough and Walford. Walford's got him. Gillespie. The Magpies, who only have the one win in the Winfield Cup. And next Friday night, they're at home to the Canberra Raiders on our Nissan Friday Night Football. St. George trying to put them in a very big hole already so early in the Winfield Cup. Good kick from West. St. George will be happy with the feed. Some tired men sideline. They're probably thinking about, how did we get out of this? Potter's played well for the Saints.
At halfback for a lot of the game.
A little bit of cramp for Potter. McCallum is going to get somebody else to play it to get on with the game. Osborne. Fullerton Smith. That's all they have to do, the forwards, is trap it, head down, hang on to the ball. Collins showing the way. At half-time, there wasn't a murmur from this crowd as the St. George side left the field. They will receive a tremendous reception from coming back for the dead. Fullerton Smith on the last. Blair is headed for the kicker. Beattie decided to stand flat on the blind. The kick is too big. West have possession back near halfway. Gillespie. Time should be up. Blair. They've got to spread it. Taylor's got to get in there. He does now. Ledner for Dimmock. Dimmock out to Ainscough. Walford trying to push him over the sideline. He throws it back. St. George going for it. West still have it. But do they have the time?
What they've got to do is chip it. South's very deep. There is some space.
Lytton. Fullerton Smith missed. West lose it. That should be it. The fumble from the Magpies. Time well and truly up by our clock. Potter with the feed. He will go alone to make sure of it. Taken strongly low by Dimmock. There it is. A remarkable game of rugby league. Really remarkable. Down 14-2 at half-time, St. George. They needed a miracle. They produced it with a big effort in the second half. 20-18 to St. George. What a comeback it was. What a comeback it was from St. George, and we thought their best. Our MMI man of the match, Wayne Collins. Wayne, a remarkable comeback. What was said at half-time?
Brian just made us settle down and just made us realise that they had a player short, and we just had to really get a really good start, and we were lucky enough to go out there and get a couple of tries, early. So.
Well, what was going through your mind as you were walking off after being down 14-7?
Well, mate, it's the most desperate side I've come up against. They had to win, and I thought we were gone for all money, but we just we got our minds back on the job and went out there and got a couple of lucky tries early.
Well, desperate deeds, and that was some good rewards. $1,000 from MMI, the quality standard insurance. Well played.
Thank you very much. Just like to thank Channel 10 and MMI. Thank you.
You better take it. Don't leave it with me. All right.